3 years is a long time, but we get the point. I've seen the previews. Hope you enjoyed this watching the Sellavin review of Legend of Korra Season 4 Balance Episode 1 after all these years. Peace has finally returned after 3 years. After all, after Zahir's defeat and what happened with Korra, peace has finally returned. Zahir is now in prison, and things right now are back to normal. It's been 3 years. I saw that so many changes. There's now a giant statue of Korra in a part that's even named after her, and that part is right now is really what you call. It's pretty what you call amazing. And after all, she did defeat the Red Lotus, but at a great personal cost. We all saw how different it is. It's all about changes, not to mention the fact. Asami, now we also know that it's been 3 years, and now the Earth Kingdom, even though the Earth Kingdom has mostly stabilized, there's still some problems. Some problems with the Earth Kingdom. For example, they're still roaming bandits even after the fall of the Earth Queen, and even after the prince is going to take his throne, Prince Yura. Apparently, he's the nephew of the Earth Queen that died. So basically, he's what you call he's royalty, but he's inexperienced. That's a bit of a show-off and narcissist. So narcissistic egomaniac. Not egomaniac, but he's young. So Bolin is Mako's his bodyguard. Speaking of Bolin, he's now joined the forces with. He's now what you call on the front lines, dealing with what you call the bandits, along with Zuraha. Those of you know her, Zuraha was in the raid party with the last season. She's called an unknown, but people thought that she was a Red Lotus member because we have no idea which member of the Red Lotus could be. I mean, there was already one in Zaofu already, so there could be another. We don't have no idea how many Red Lotus members there are, basically. So, it's like what you call an unforeseen sight. Also, I got to see that Oppo and Kai, and Tenzin, his kids. And you can see little Rohan, the baby. He's now what you call a toddler. He's 3 years old. So basically, then you got Janora. She's fully mature. She's at least what you call 13, maybe 15. Then there's the other two kids, Milo and Jerry, and then they're all like now all older. But the other all three kids still haven't gotten their airbender tattoo, so they're still not full masters. So we all know Janora's the master. So after all, she's the youngest in over 150 years after her grandfather Avatar Aang. So that's true. I also mentioned the fact that cities now what you call more committed. Like I said, Usami, she used her industries. She used her company now to put what you call railways to unite Republic City with the rest of the Earth Kingdom. So basically the city's what you call more mobile, more modern. I've seen the city, like the spirits, they're not causing any trouble like they did in the last season. Apparently they turned part of the city's a spiritual way. It's into like what you call, they welcome them with open arms. They're no longer causing trouble. Apparently they turned part of the city into what you call a sanctuary for the spirits. Kind of like a nature preserve park where you get to interact with the wild animals. But these aren't animals, they're spirits. So they're a lot stronger than anything else. And probably possibly more dangerous if you don't upset them. So, yeah. Also, I get to mention the fact that Oppo and Bolin, they're still an item, but they're having some relationship issues. For example, Bolin, he's traveling, going from Earth Kingdom to Earth Kingdom to try to stop all the bandits. After all the fall of the Earth Queen and Ba Sing Se, they're trying to reunite the colonies and the country. But some are agreeing, some are not agreeing. And then there's Zoraha. Remember, we saw her. Zoraha, she was in the last season, and she's uniting the kingdoms, but she's in the pledge her loyalty to them. She even using the crest of what you call the Metal Clan, and to the point where they're all united on her army. And so basically when she says her army, that means literally her army. She could have an entire army of people under her control. No, and I could see it in her eye. There's something suspicious about her. And the way that she fought a group of bandits all by herself, with such degree and such finesse, she barely batted an eye and sweat at the same time. It was very, very unique. And something seemed off about those bandits. I can't exactly put my finger on it, but something one of those bandits said really sets me off. So, not pissed off, just thinking. Setup. But you also get the quote from this episode, like, this is all about changes. And I mean, the Air Temple Nation, they're spread across the world. No, and I was told this before from a couple friends, local sources, that they were gonna, that the Air Nation, they travel across the world. The Air Nation is now helping people, doing whatever they can, kind of like refugee workers, rescue workers, fighting the good fight. Very different from the airbenders of the past, who were nomads and loved peace, but they know that if they don't do anything now, the world they know is going to be literally destroyed. But then they only sent Kai and Opal, but then again, it's only 2 people, since the rest of the nation are what you call narrowed down thin. So, even though they tried their best to counteract the bandits, it's still very hard, especially for the governor, who's supposed to be the leader of his village. He knows that he doesn't either starve to death or join with Zarhat and her army, join with the rest of the forces, rest of the military force. Otherwise, their people could lose themselves. And not to mention the fact that it's like this man, he didn't ask for none of this horrible thing to happen. I kind of pity the governor, because his people are literally starving to death to the point where they have nothing left to go for. And this seems all very fishy. Like, this seemed very strange. I think this is more than coincidence. I think someone is setting this all up. But I could be contemplating, or I could be just overthinking things. I think this is just a bunch of setup. Trust me. I have my suspicions. But then again, and things are what you call in mid-crisis. I mean, you got a young prince, you got the president of Republic City, who's still, he's what you call more open. And not to mention the fact, where the hell is Korra? I haven't mentioned Korra all the time in this interview. Want to know what's happening? Apparently, she left the South Pole 6 months ago, writing letters to her father that she's in Republic City, but she's not. She's literally fighting underground, like how Toph used to be, underground fighting. I mean, why would Korra do this? It's been 3 years since she defeated Zahir and the Red Lotus, but we all gotta know this. Zahir was literally a monster to Korra. He wanted to kill her just to prove that with no avatar, that the world would call into chaos. That chaos would bring order to this world. Korra faced a lot of things. She faced Amon, aka Noatak. He's dead. No thanks to his brother, Tanrak. Then you got her uncle Unalak. Then you got her brother Unalak. Then you got Unalak, her uncle. And Batu becoming the Dark Avatar. That was hard. And especially when we thought that she was going to be the last Avatar. And then finally you got Zahir, who's probably the worst of them all. She was literally going to die, like, at the hands of this guy, at the hand of this man who we thought was saving the world by committing an evil act, to the point where when we saw her at the end of the last scene, her spirit was literally broken by what Zahir did to her. And to the point where she probably doesn't even recognize herself in the mirror anymore. And I gotta admit, I gotta feel the most pity for Korra. I gotta feel pity for her the most, knowing that she's been stooped to this. I mean, the Avatar itself is supposed to remain balance, but seeing the way Korra's acting, I think she lost sight of what her true self is. She's lost her path as the Avatar. I'm sorry to say this, but that's what I honestly think. To be broken to the point where you're reduced to this, to fighting underground, and not even giving it your all, especially not letting people know the truth that you're literally the Avatar. You kicked all their asses with all the elements. That you're reduced to this. There's something very, very wrong with her, and she needs help. Very, very serious help. And I doubt that she can find her path on her own. Literally. All I can tell you is that this season came up with a few surprises, especially at the end. A few surprises, a few drama, especially when it comes to relationships. Bolin and Opal, maybe, especially Opal and her brother and his fiance. Hey, but especially what we're gonna get later in the season, more surprises, the return to some old friends we haven't seen like forever. Tough, but we all get the point. We all get the point. This is going to be the last season of Korra. We've seen Aang at what you call his lowest point, especially when he lost Appa. I think that was the lowest point we ever saw Aang, when he lost Appa. But this is by far the lowest point we ever seen in Avatar, probably to the emotional drama and the emotional shock of almost dying at the hands of people that she didn't know, just wanted her dead because they thought they were saving the world because of madness. I'm sorry for taking this so long to talk to you, but this is my review and this is my honest opinion. Korra probably is broken, and it's going to be hard to pick up the pieces again. Hope you enjoyed. That's fine. This is Sellavin and Alex gave a review of The Legend of Korra Season 4, Episode 1. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Thank you. Signing off. I'm so sorry to see it like this.